Hey, it's David Breeze Flippers. It's middle of the week and starting out to be an okay week. Last week's sales, we actually ended up with over $1,324 in sales, which I was pleased. 37 sales total. This week, we're okay. We're about 6 sales in and about almost $300. But I don't know if it'll be as busy as it was last week. Last week was just an anomaly. We also had some big sales last week, but some of that money is going to be coming back because something we sent out, unfortunately, got destroyed, and we'll talk a little bit about that because did everything we could on our end, we thought, but apparently we forgot one thing, and we'll talk about that too. I also want to talk a little bit about promoting your store, and we may ask everybody to share the links to their stores, so I'd like to do that too. So let's get into it.
Find it, flip it, ship it, wear Breeze Flippers, keep it moving. Find it, flip it, ship it, repeat. Breeze Flippers, we
All right, like I said, starting out to be an okay week. I'm not complaining. We've made a few sales of some pretty cool stuff this week, and we'll talk about that. It started out, a good week until today. I was sitting there sweating that whole time because of what we sent out last week. The one sale that I talked about, and I'll pop it up on the screen, it was the typewriter. So excited that we bought this typewriter. It was, beautiful 1960s typewriter, and it worked perfectly, and there was no problem with it. It was in a hard shell case. So we'll just get this out of the way and talk about what happened. All right. So when I packed it, I wish I had taken pictures of the packing. I knew that it was in the hard case. It locks into the hard case. So it has a little piece in the back that locks in the front. It does not move inside that case. So my thinking was it should be safe in the case, at least that part shouldn't move. There's my first lesson I've learned. All right. So we packed that, and then we basically put that in a box, and then we bubble wrapped the box. I mean, we put as much bubble around as we could. Then we put that box in another box. I thought a box in a box, surely that would protect it. Apparently it didn't. So she said that now it went from Florida to California, and it was a almost 27-pound box. All right. So the box made it just fine. But apparently the inside of the typewriter, she said, was part of the top part came dislodged. She said she was able to pop that back down, but then like the keys won't work now. So I have no idea what came dislodged. So obviously, most likely it's some sort of a cable that controls the keys from the keyboard. That's my only guess. But either way, it was $189 total. That's with shipping. It cost me almost 40 something, I think $45. I can't remember exactly, guys, but it was like $45 to ship it, UPS, and I only charged $29, but I did get $139 for the typewriter. Now, I may end up losing all of that. And the only thing I can think of is that somehow or another inside the case, it became dislodged and allowed it to bounce around. So the lesson learned there is to, even if it's inside of a hard case, I think there might have been maybe some precautions we could have done inside the case. I don't know. Leave a comment, guys. Have you ever shipped something like that? I've shipped typewriters before without any issue. I had one that they're a little smaller. This was the heaviest thing that I've ever shipped, right? But I kind of wish now that it's something different. Maybe I could have gotten a bigger box, put more padding in there, but we honestly thought we had enough padding to at least protect it. But given the size and the weight, and I've watched UPS people throw stuff on your patio, there's no doubt in my mind that these things were slung around. This was probably slung around 100 times, and I'm sure it got damaged. I mean, it went from Florida all the way to California. That was my first fear. If it had been going up anywhere on the East Coast, I probably would have been less worried because I think it would have been less time for it to get damaged. But you jostle something that much, it's going to probably get damaged. So anyway, I'll figure it out by the end of the day, hopefully, what we end up doing. Either way, I'm going to file a claim because it did have insurance. So I may not be able to get all of it back, but if I can get part of it back, I'll be okay with it. Because, I mean, if you take precautions and they still damage it, I don't know. But the only thing I can think of, and has anyone ever shipped something like that? Because the hard case, that's the only thing I can think of is that it came loose inside. So she's going to send me some pictures today of what happened, and that'll kind of confirm it. But anyway, kind of a bummer. So that $1,324 is probably going to be closer to like $1,000. So anyway, it happens, guys. And lesson learned. I'm going to, I'm still, I'm not going to be afraid to ship big things like that, because I still think you can do it. It's just I think you have to take more precautions. Maybe what I should have done is stuff cardboard underneath the typewriter itself, so that if anything did come dislodged and then put stuff over the top of it, that it would at least be cushioned in there and keep everything together. I just assumed with the hard case, it would be fine. But anyway, lesson learned. Let me know in your comments, have you guys ever done something like that? Tell me what's the worst one that you've ever done, and what do you do? What do you do to fix it? See, I've got a very expensive lamp in there that I bought at a yard sale a month or so ago, and I've been afraid to death to list it because I know I'm going to have to ship it, and it's made of glass, and I'm like, I'm not sure. So I might try to sell it locally. We'll see. I still may do it, but you know, we're gonna give it a try. So I'd be very curious to hear anybody's war stories or good stories, how you ship something that it works. So let's talk about what's sold though this week so far. We did actually sell, and I'll pop these up on the screen because these have already been shipped out. I did sell a comic. This is a graded comic, Battlestar Galactica #1. CGC 9.2. It's a 1979 Marvel first issue, and it had white pages, and it had the Cylon cover on the front, Cylon shooting. It was really cool. Yeah, it was a cool looking comic, but I ended up getting $50 for that, and I believe we got $12.99 shipping on that. I'll have to look and see, but I know I didn't have it for free shipping. I actually, it's one of the ones I actually had charged shipping. So, but yeah, so that was exciting. So I love selling graded comics. Every once in a while we do get some sales. They've slowed down a little bit, but we still get some every once in a while. Let's see, we also sold another adult magazine. This one is the September 2002 with Katie Price, Shaylin Myers, and Larry Ellison on it. Anyway, that went out for $3.79, $7.99 shipping. So still trying to sell those off. The sale that I was running the past 3 weeks, I think, ended on Sunday night at midnight. So we had some, I think that's what kind of spurred a lot of the sales last week. So we are starting another sale at the end of this week. But we're going to have to put our store on hold for a little while after next week because of some stuff we have to go do for with my brother. So, but you know, that's going to be a challenge in itself. I always hate doing that because especially just starting off the fourth quarter could hurt a little bit. We'll see what happens, but it is what it is. The next thing I sold was this was one that I picked up a few weeks ago, and I picked up all the anime and all the One Piece DVDs and all this different stuff. So I did pick all these up, and this was and I cannot say it, Jujutsu Kaisen manga. It's a lot of 0 to 17. These are from Viz, and I don't know if they're fairly new, but it was 18 total books. Like I said, the costs that I had in these are less than $1 a piece. So I think, matter of fact, I think I put 15 as the total of what I got on it. I ended up getting $100 for those. I do believe that these went out free shipping, but the shipping was really cheap. It was in a, let's see, no, I actually got $6.95 shipping. I did charge shipping on that. $6.95 shipping, but it's media mail, and it really was right around $6.95. I don't think it was much more. Matter of fact, I think, no, I do remember actually, it didn't go out media mail. It actually went out Ground Advantage because Ground Advantage was actually cheaper than media mail. So, and that happens. And speaking of that, I'm just curious, guys. So with the new rule that eBay will only cover items not received if you ship through eBay, okay? So you're using their labels. Now, I had not in the past been using their labels. I always used Pirate Ship. It's just easy for me. I was getting my points. Everything was set up. Now, I did get it set up with the eBay shipping that finally got it figured out how to get PayPal to set up and use my card, and I'm still getting the points for it, which that's all good, right? Happy about that. However, what I started noticing was, and I started packing some of these heavier items or some of these bigger items, it was a lot more expensive on eBay than it is on Pirate Ship. And I'm seeing that for like UPS, especially. It's very close for the dollar amounts for a Ground Advantage, but UPS was significant. So something that I shipped at UPS on eBay was in some cases $3 to $4 more than it was on Pirate Ship. So I'm wondering if anybody else has experienced that. It's enough to make me go, I'm going to ship this one on Pirate Ship and just take the chance. And the reason why is because I want to save that $4 up front. I'm 95% confident it's going to get there, but it wasn't worth, some of these items are just not worth it to me to try and ship through eBay. And that was we shipped a golf club. I think it was yesterday or earlier this week. Was it? Yeah. So we shipped a golf club. Oh, that was one of the things that sold late Sunday night that you guys didn't see in the last video. I shipped a golf club, and I only charged $9.99 for shipping, but it was $14 on eBay. I was a little shocked, but it was actually $10 on Pirate Ship. So the golf club wasn't worth a ton. It was just a really older Big Bertha. So I went ahead and shipped it on Pirate Ship. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, if it didn't get there and I'm out, I'm really only out a couple bucks, or just the amount that it cost me, and that wasn't that much. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, like I said, golf clubs have been pretty good at least getting there. UPS usually gets the item there, just may not get it there in the shape that you want it in. So, but that happens. I'd be curious to see if you guys have noticed the same thing, or is anyone out there brave enough to use the FedEx ground home ground? Because I did notice that those rates are really cheap, but I've heard so many horror stories about the upcharges from FedEx. It's got me a little nervous. I have never done a FedEx shipment, so let me know if you've done it. So leave a comment for me. Also sold Mighty Max Trapped in Skull Mountain playset. This is from Bluebird 1992. It's the Volcano. It was incomplete, right? This thing is pretty big. It was about 11 inches tall and about 8 to 9 inches around or so. Pretty good sized box we had to put it in, but I, you know, bubble wrapped it and got everything in there. I knew that I wasn't going to get a lot for it. If that thing had been complete, it's probably worth more in the $60, $70 range, I think. Ended up getting $35 for it though. And I did get shipping, I don't remember how much. Probably, yeah, $12.95 shipping. So it covered the shipping. Shipping was more than covered on that one because it was. So I had it in a good sized box. But yeah, that was part of the buy that I made when I made all that big Pokemon buy, the plush and all that stuff. So this is still part of that big buy, and that was the second part. So I bought this Mighty Max and all the little Mighty Maxes. I've sold a couple of those Mighty Maxes, but you know, I'd like to sell the most of them. They're not complete. There's only one that's semi-complete or almost complete, but all of them have Max, but not all of them have the other parts. So I'm hoping that some of the collectors are going to want those, and maybe they have the parts or can get the parts to put it together. So probably end up running those on sale pretty soon though, just because I want to try and move them. I don't want to sit on them. I'm not a collector, so of that at least. So then we get into what sold last night. This is the PlayStation 2, or no, this is actually PlayStation, not PlayStation 2. Yeah, this is PlayStation. Speed Punks video game, multiplayer party racing. So picked this up at a garage sale. A whole bunch of these actually, so I got less than $1 in it. Sold it for $16.14. Pretty sure I get $5.99 shipping now on all my games. Yeah, so this will go out. We'll put this on a cardboard. I don't know. Actually, I may put this in a small box. The only reason why is because plastic cases get broken and people get all bent out of shape when you send those and they get broken. So next thing that sold was, all right, so I still sell pop figures, guys. I sold a couple this week now, 2 or 3, I guess. So I don't mind, we sold some last week, didn't we? Yeah, I think we did. I think we sold, yeah, we did sell one last week. We sold one last week, and then, yeah, I sold actually sold 2 of them last week. I sold the FN 2187 Star Wars pop. We sold the Funko Noid Target exclusive pop. And we sold the signed Jay Goda one. So pops, certain ones do still sell, guys. I mean, this one is the Inspector Gadget flying helicopter from Funko. This is a vaulted one, number 893. So anyway, if you're a big fan of Inspector Gadget, you would love this one. I cannot, to be honest with you, remember, I think I bought this off of DibDit. I'm almost positive I bought it off of DibDit. I may have actually won it. I don't recall. So whatever it was, I know I didn't pay much for it, but ended up getting $17.99. It goes out with free shipping. I mean, it's vaulted, but it's not worth a ton, right? But it is cool. If you're an old nostalgia person, this one would be cool on the shelf. So, and it is in a pop protector, which is great. So I'll just drop that in an 8x6x4 box and it's done. So all told this week, we got about $286 in sales so far, 6 sales. So, you know, that's since Monday, and the week is young. I just popped in a whole bunch of listings today. So I'm sure that things will start to pick up by the weekend. Won't be doing much sourcing this weekend, unfortunately. 2 reasons why. The one reason is I've just got too much stuff I got to list. I mean, we made that really big buy last weekend of all those Hallmark ornaments and the Department 56 figures. I'm going to list those this week and get those done. And then I think over the weekend, that's what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, Saturday morning, I have to take my wife's car in to have it repaired. There were some issues going on, so Subaru has to have it early. So I may get some garage sales in on my way. So I have to drop it off at 7:45. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. I may just take the car up there and wait with it, and or see if they'll give me a loaner to go do some stuff. So if they give me a loaner, I'm going to tear up some roads up there and go see if we can find some sales, but we'll see what they can do. But yeah, but at the same time, I need to just come back and just list, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. So, because we've got a lot of stuff going on this week. We've got another auction. So we had an auction Monday night. I did something a little different. DibDit, guys. I know I talk about it. I would really love it one time if somebody signed up for it and said that you found me on my video. It would just be fun. DibDit.com. You can use Breeze Flips. You can get $5 off your first $10 purchase. Not with just me, anybody, guys. You can buy so much stuff. And I have said it a million times. I get so much stuff there. I source so much, from comics to pop figures if I see some that are good, to toys, to cars. I bought a whole bunch of Hot Wheels for little to nothing, and I'll lot those up and sell them on eBay and do pretty good with them. So get a chance, go over DibDit.com, just sign up, and you put Breeze Flips in the wallet, and you can use that $5 off your next purchase anywhere you want. But we did run a comic auction on Monday night. Had a lot of fun. We did basically I put up 3 comics. Let's call it left, center, right. And they were bidding on 2 of the comics. So we had 3 comics up there. So I did something a little different. That was fun. I think everybody enjoyed it because it kept them interactive. It was more than just bidding on 1 comic. So they were bidding on 2. And so there was a little bit more bidding between people because there might be 2 comics that somebody wanted, and they would do that. So I'd take the 2 comics down that they picked and leave 1 up there and put up 2 more. And if that one didn't sell, the next one I pulled it down and put up new ones. Or if none of those sold, I pulled them all down and put up 3 new ones. So it was kind of fun. Only thing is sometimes you only got $2 for 2 comics, right? Even though I charge $1 progressive shipping. So I was like, I got to figure out something different. So I'm doing something totally different this Thursday. We're going to do another sale this Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. DibDit.com. So anyway, I'm going to put up 3 comics again. And basically, we're going to start them at $1, and you're bidding on 1. If it goes over $3, then you can pick 2, and if it goes over $5, you're going to pick a number, and then that's going to pull a mystery comic, and you'll get 3 comics for over 5. So I think that'll be fun. It'll add a little gamemanship to the whole auction. It's not gambling. It's not really at all gambling because they're still buying the 2 comics. It's just that you get a bonus, and the bonus is whatever is on the one that I put. So I'll probably put up, probably just do that maybe 15 or 20 comics. I think it'll be fun. I'm kind of looking forward to it. So it'll be fun to try something different and see if we can get some people, be more interactive. But that's really what it's all about. It's a lot of fun. And we get conversations going. We get people talking in there. And I love it when people come into the auctions and they tell me about a comic because I know a lot about comics, but I don't know everything. Obviously, I don't know everything. I know enough to be dangerous, but I do get a lot of comments and stuff, and people tell me about this comic or that, or wow, this was this artist, and I didn't even know. So I rely on them to kind of, tell me. They'll people are going there and talk about that comic and help talk it up. So always a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to try something different. So that's going to be Thursday night, and then Friday night we have another media auction. Last Friday's auction was off the hook. People were being crazy, and actually it was fun. It was probably one of the most fun auction I have ever done. But people were seriously, I think there might have been some drinking involved. So more than likely, certain people were drinking and they were just having a blast. So I did enjoy that, and it was a lot of fun. My light went out, so if you saw it just get dark in here, it was, I don't know. Apparently, I got to plug it in more often. So, but anyway. It was fun. So if you get a chance, come out and check us out. Even if you just come watch, you can do that. I think I'm going to try and I might simulcast it actually on either Instagram or Facebook. I haven't done that one in a while. That might be kind of fun just to get other people on there and see if we can pull anybody in. thought about putting it on the channel. I may actually do it on the channel. So, and if I do, it'll be alive and you guys will see it, and then I'll probably delete it after it's done because it's not really going to help grow anything. If you're here still, and I appreciate you guys, I want to say thank you very much. If you get a chance to like and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Our channel is slowly growing here, and you know, Sherry's on once a week. We'd love to have her on more, but she works, you know, full time, much like I do, and but we would like to be able to kind of grow this thing a little bit more. So please like and subscribe if you get a chance. Leave some comments. Speaking of comments, I'd love to hear and look at everybody's stores. If you get a chance, drop the link to your store in the comments if it'll let you. I hope it'll let you. If it blocks you for any reason, I'll let them in there. But I'd love to see what your store names are. Store names. My store is actually in the bio of it. So if you get a chance, drop in your store name and your link to your eBay store. Let's talk about it. I'd love to get some feedback on the stores. I think this is a lot of fun, and maybe we could kind of see what everybody thinks. Hey, I'll take constructive feedback any day. So if you get a chance, drop them in there. Let's kind of talk about that and do something fun. I think that would be a great thing to do. And it also helps kind of promote a little bit. That's one of the things I've been really working on and striving to do, is just get the store promoted. I don't want to pay for promotions. When we have about 200 and what do we have? About 208, I think 280 maybe followers on the store, which, you know, it seems like not very many, but considering that we didn't have any, yeah, 288. So I think, you know, it'd be fun to get a little bit more followers on there, just because I think that does help your when you put new items up and such. So if you have over 1,000 followers or 1,500 or 2,000 followers, it's good, because every time you put something up, somebody's going to be, hey, new seller has put this up. So always something you can do. Also, when you send out newsletters, it just reaches more people, and I send out newsletters regularly. So I did say that my sale ended last week. I am starting another sale this Friday, so I'm just going to put a bunch of stuff on sale, 15%, and then I've got some stuff I'm going to put on at 25% that's been on there for a while. So we're going to, run another sale, try to run that through the end of October, probably the first weekend of November, or partial weekend of November. It'll end on November 3rd. And since I'm going to be out for a while at my brother's wedding, that's always a challenge. so I'm not going to have, we're going to take sales, but we're not going to have anything, shipping for a week. So that's going to be a challenge in itself. So, but we all need to take time off, and hate taking time off in October when the quarter starts for fourth quarter, but had to order some boxes yesterday too. Golly, just thought about that. I was like, I'm out of bubble wrap for one, because I used all the dang bubble wrap on the typewriter. Anyway, it still didn't work. Anyway, but it is what it is. But I got a bunch of stuff ordered, and of course today the new coupon starts. So if you have a eBay store, you get your coupons. So I have just somebody's talking about that this morning on the stores. One of the reseller podcasts, I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, they were talking about the store sizes and the store they have. I've had a store ever since I started selling. I started with a store. I mean, not in 1997, but like when we started selling seriously, I think, 2021 or whatever it was. So I ended up getting I think the second size store, not the basic one, not the really basic, but the next one up. Not the starter. I think it's called a basic, actually. But it gives us everything that we need. But one thing is, we get the $25 coupon every quarter for shipping supplies. You can use that for, which that's always very, very handy. But, the thing is, I think what most people don't realize is it does give you some other advantages, right? And it's a little misleading, right? Because I think people think you have to pay for it up in a year in the front if you do the year plan. If you do the yearly plan, you're paying monthly still. It comes directly out of my account. So, or out of basically my what I pay in or what I make out of eBay. I never see a bill for it, right? But it's like $21.95 a month, and that's on the 1 year plan. So all you do is you change it. Now, if you cancel it early, obviously you got to pay some sort of a difference. Probably you have to pay the difference for the months that you use, but it's not that bad. And the starter store for a year plan is only $4.95, so it's really cheap. But you do get a lot, right? So you get, like with the basic store, you get like 1,000 a month. fixed listings, price insertion. I mean, that's pretty good. You get 250 free auctions. You get like, and if you were to go over that amount, I think you have to pay 25 cents per if you go over either auctions or the number of listings. But I've never hit that, right? Even on the starter, because like I said, maybe if I was full time and I had a lot more, I probably would have to go in there and look at the maybe doing a premium store. But quite honest with you, I don't even know if I would then, because I get everything that a premium does. The only difference is, matter of fact, everything from the basic all the way up to enterprise, your final value fees are exactly the same, 2.5 to 15.3%, depending on the category and stuff. So I don't see a whole lot of difference, to be honest with you. I think, if you get into the basic store, the only reason you want to store, guys, and just make it really easy. The reason you want to store is you can do discounts, you can do all kinds of different, there's different things you can do as far as newsletters. Your store, you can kind of set it up and you put it the way you want. I just think it's a better deal. So anyway, get a chance, you look at it, but I think a lot of people get very confused. They think, oh my gosh, if I do $21.95, I got to pay that times 12. No. It's just every month, $21.95. If you decide that you don't want to do it for the year plan, it's $27.95. But why would you not? If you're gonna make a stab at eBay and you're gonna give it a try, then give it a try. Do it for a year and at least see what's going on with it, right? So, like I said, I think though this month, the quarter starting and everything, got to use up that coupon. Had to get all the shipping supplies, so I had to order some more boxes. I was completely out of bubble wrap, so I ordered some bubble wrap. Ended up ordering some more plastic wrap too, because I do a lot of plastic wrap stuff, so keeping things together and stuff like that. So always fun, and got to spend the money to make money, I guess is the way it works. So anyway, I'd love to hear you guys' stories. Tell me about the worst shipping mistake that you've made. Tell me about if you had any success of shipping like that, how did you do it? I'd love to hear some more. Or if you got a channel, let me know what the channel is. Let's take a look at it, guys, and let's share people around and kind of let people know who you are and what you do and everything. So I appreciate y'all being here. I'm David, Breeze Flippers. Hope your week is great. We'll see you later.
Find it, flip it, ship it, wear Breeze Flippers. Keep it moving.